Hey guys, remember when I was in Cordoba? Hello again, everyone. It's me, Rocket Child, and welcome to this video. So this week, the OK Samurai has released a video which was quite exciting. Character Animator, which is the Adobe software that I use to create this character right here, has now begun to incorporate full body movement. So if you look in the upper right corner, probably can't see. OBS. Over here, you now have like full body articulation, so you can move a character around. And that way, like, the arms and stuff will move around, and there's options for dancing with legs, which is very cool. See, here you can see it. You can see it. You can see it! Yep. So with my character, I just have sitting down position, and the reason is the current Adobe Animate software uses facial recognition to move the puppet around. So if I want to move the legs, put them on the table, gets comfy over here, I gotta use my mouse to do it. Whereas once the body and the limbs becomes an option, then I might be able to move around and get more motion out of my character. So Character Animator has been released as a beta version, which means we can test out the features of the full body motion capture, but it's not complete yet. I kind of want to have a go. So first things first, we need to update my puppet so that we can have a standing motion. But also, I got a haircut recently, so I sort of want to redo my character and give it some cool new hair and new outfit, and we'll also make it standing so we can test out the new features. So let's go. So to make a new puppet, first I opened up the one I use currently. The puppets are made on Adobe Photoshop. If we zoom in right now, you'll see that actually there's a lot going on, which is very strange. I'm gonna move this to the side, move this one to the side. When I use my character, it has a lot of different emotions. So let's go back. I have a guitar over here. I've got my cat piano. I've got just so many different expressions. Cha-ching! Here we go. I can put in my glasses if I feel like it, and I can... Here we go. I can get a cup of tea. And just go back to normal. So yes, I can have lots and lots of different expressions and props and accessories, but in order to make that work, I have to put everything onto the same Photoshop file, and it looks very messy and complicated because also there's a lot of animation in here as well. To make the new puppet, I first saved an exact copy of the puppet I already have, because a lot of the animations I want to keep, such as you want the eyes blinking and the eyebrows moving to give you angry eyebrows and happy eyebrows and mouths to do lip syncing, things like that. And I also want to carry across some of my props like my guitar and my bass. But here, oh, here we go. Look at all the expressions. The excited star eyes. It just a lot of hand-drawn animation, and it looks very crazy when you see all of them at the same time. So what I did was I colored in orange all of the animations and things that I don't need at this second. Then I could use the eyeball button and hide them. Then we just have the bear character. Next, I'm going to hide things that are distracting, such as the mouths, the different eyelids and such. So we just have the basic face. Next, I want to be standing, so I don't need a chair. So this is the basic body form that I want to keep using. So the new standing puppet needs to have the arms like an A shape. So here my two arms are facing this direction. So I'm just going to reposition this one. Here. My canvas is also pretty squishy, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger. We'll fix the legs in a moment. Next, I'm just going to make a layer above everything. I'll color it in white and then reduce the transparency. So what I want to do is do a sketch. So make another layer. Choose just a random color. I want to sketch out the new things I want. So I want to be standing. Sketching in the legs. So that's the important part, because the legs are going to be puppet elements and they're going to move and need to walk. My hair isn't going to change too much. I basically got my hair cut the exact same way I always like to have it cut. So the character in the corner that's drawing right now with that spiky hairstyle, that's what my hair looks like now. So all I got to do is just change the shape a little bit. And as for the style of clothing, I'm going to still have a baggy kind of jumper, but this time I want to make it into a hoodie. So it's the same style. I'm going to have hoodie cords, and I'm going to use physics to make them move. And I actually really like the slippers, so I'm going to keep them the same way. And this is the design that I have in mind. So going back into my design, I have the left leg and the right leg here. I want to keep them because I like the little shoes. So I'm gonna reposition it. Like so. But I'm gonna redraw the shoes. Oh, sorry. Redraw the pants. There we go. So above my sketch layer, made a new layer, black outline color. I'm going to choose my favorite brush, which is from Kyle Webster's Ultimate Brush set, or Incra set, one of them. And I like to use the Belgian comic brush, and I used it previously on the puppet, so it's the same brush. Then I'm going to draw in one leg at a time. In normal style drawing, I would draw the pants exactly like this sketch, where this leg is overlapping the other leg. However, because this puppet needs to move and have different angles, each leg is going to be a separate object, and therefore a separate layer. So this is the pant seam. So that's the left leg. Make a new layer. Hide this a little bit, and then draw the right leg. I might put too much of a angle on this knee, so just clean that up a little bit. Going back to the original pants and legs, I'm going to erase the pants from before. And just keep the slippers. New legs. When it gets too complicated and too many things are around, I just turn off the layers so I can focus more. So for example, this pant leg is black, but because the outline is black, I'm going to make it a lighter shade. And I'm just going to experiment with which shade I like better. So this is kind of like a orangey based, very dark gray. And what I'm doing is I'm coloring a whole different layer underneath the outline so that I have room to experiment. Then I'm making the same on the other side. So what I have at the bottom is Atom Design 2 and Atom Color 2, which are Photoshop extensions, and they are basically shortcuts that allow me, say if I select this area with my Magic Wand tool, I can extend that space using this shortcut, click on the layer below and press fill. So that means I can use the same tools such as expand, work area, and fill, but in a shortcut. So these are the pants together. I want to put more of a design on my pants, so press Control, click on the picture of the pant leg filled in, and now I have that area of space selected. Go to the layer above it, and I'm going to put some designs in. I have Webster, not sure. Anyway, Kyle Webster's watercolor pack. So it simulates watercolor effect, and I'm using the splatter tool brush to simulate the designs on my pants. I bleached my pants originally, and it has this splattered orange effect on it now. So first I've got this darker orange, then a lighter orange. Kind of looks like a lot and super messy, so I can just redo it again. The whole reason I have things on separate layers is if I don't like it, I can redo that one part as opposed to having to redo everything. part of coming up with these designs is trial and error, because this is a very simple cartoon character, which means the real pants could be quite detailed, but you don't want to put too much detail and the cartoon character looks overwhelmed. So I like that. So I'm going to do the other pant leg and do the same thing. I'm going to select the opaque coloring, make a new layer above, and then I'm going to use the splatter texture effect. And we have like the splatter pants. Now the pants are very textured, as you can see, but it's also quite dark, so you're losing the detail on the outline of the pants. So I'm going to get a cleaner brush. Make a new layer, and I'm just going to make some highlights on the folds of the pants. So they stand out more. Adjusting the opacity so it's not too overbearing. And I like that. Then I'm going to the other pant leg. Doing the same thing on the other side. Adding the highlights a little bit on the pockets, and then reduce the opacity about 70. And then we have the pants. So now that I have the pant legs as I like them, I'm going to merge all of the pieces of one leg together. I use Control E to merge the layers down on top of each other. I want the left foot, so I'm merging down to the left, oops, wrong one, right foot. Here we go, merging down to the right foot, and we have the right leg. Actually, I'm kind of skeptical now that I think about it. I'm gonna have this as right foot and a right leg, just in case, because sometimes the parts need to be separated. Left leg, left foot. Sometimes your layers don't need to be named because you're doing it for yourself, so you kind of know it by heart. But in this situation, you do want to name your layers, because when you import the puppet into Character Animator, it actually reads the names and applies the movement based on the body part, and it needs to be named. So here, if we go back to my initial sketch, we got the legs, got the little feet. Now we want the hoodie. If you look to our body right now, the left arm and the right arm and the main torso are different layers. And again, because the left arm is on top, because this is a 3/4 profile, it has to be layered on top as well. What I'm going to do is just hide the arms. I'm going back to my sketch layer, and I'm doing the outline of the main body. I think the jumper is a bit short now that I think about it, so I'm going to make it a bit longer. So first I'll draw the neck, because the neck is part of the body in this animation. The hoodie. And the little lip of fabric at the bottom, and I'm bringing this in. So that's the body. I didn't draw in the hoodie strings at this stage because those are going to be on a different layer. So then I'm creating a next layer. I'm drawing in this sleeve, draw in another layer, draw in the second arm, put the cuff on the sleeve. Next, I'm just going to compare our line art with the existing body parts. And if I want to improve things, I can do it now at this stage. So I think I want the right arm to be a bit longer than what it is right now. And then some of the detailing here on the bottom. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the pants and bring them all the way down to where the body is, and everything is inside this body layer folder as well. I'm going to turn off our white, or rather I'm going to bring this white down into the area where we are working, because the current jumper is quite a dark color. Next, I forgot to put the pocket in. Better did that. Here we go. Next, I want to put the colors in. So in the same way I did for the pants, I'm making a layer under the line art. And then I'm choosing the coloration and coloring it in from the layer below. This is a new jumper I recently got, and it is one of my new favorites, so I'm using it as reference while I'm drawing. If you have an outfit with complex patterns and designs, you could always make a new layer underneath it as well. But I am used to doing things like this, so I can do it all on the same layer without much of a problem. So here, the back of the hair is covering up the back of the hoodie. So I'm just going to turn off these layers. That way I can color it in properly. Same with the sleeves now. And then I'm going to make a new layer, or rather I'm going to make two new layers, and I'm going to put the hoodie straps separately to the main body. Like this. And as I explained before, it's because the physics are going to make the strings bounce when the puppet is moving. When I'm happy, I'm just going to merge the colors and the line art together. So this one is now the new body layer. So I'm going to call this body. I'm going to delete the one from below. This left arm here, it is in a folder and it has the left hands. So what I want to do is put this new sleeve, call it plus left arm, delete the other sleeve, and the hands will still be there below. And in the same way, the right arm, putting the new right arm in here, calling it plus right arm, delete the one from below, and then we have the new arms, the new hoodie. I'm going to get rid of this white layer we had to help us draw and layer these to be hoodie strap left, probably, because this is left of the body, not left of the camera screen, the screen. And this one's hoodie strap right. I'll get rid of the chair because it's no longer sitting down anymore. This back of head here, these hair bits move with the physics, so we need to check with our sketch. How much hair do we want? So each of these strands of hair have their own different layer, and that way they can move. So when I put the sketch on, instead of redrawing everything, I can just reuse bits of the hair that's already there. And these will continue to move with our physics, like this. Just need to align it in the way we want. And I'm going to delete the other ones that we don't want anymore. Don't think I need that. And I'm going to call it back of here 2, so I'm keeping the labels up to date. Saving as we go along because the Photoshop file is quite big, because it has all of these animations and different layers inside of them. And then we will go back to our sketch, and it has more spiky hair on top. So let's see what we have to work with. If we go into the hair folder, we have our spiky hair at the back, so that can stay. We like those. We have our hair bits in the front. And everything is labeled and named. Instead of redoing everything, I'm going to keep the pink and blue hair bits in the fringe, and I'm going to add some more spiky hair bits at the top. So this is one. Make it a bit bigger. Copy. Copy again. Now, these hair bits, I'd say go at the back, because as I said, everything works in layers. I think these two can stay as they are. So I have, let's say here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Good. Zoom back out again, and we click on our sketch. We have the spiky hair, we have the hoodie, the pants, and the shoes. Let's remove this, and this is our basic shape. Next, I'm going to close, hold on. Delete the sketch layer and the white layer. Now what I want to do is put everything that is invisible back on. So these are our expressions, glosses, blush, angry expression, all the eyebrows and eyes and things, the mouths, guitar, bass guitar, and cat piano. Ooh, actually I do want to add a detail. let's go back and take off all of these things. So what I have is my cat piano layer here. Before it was sitting on my lap as I sat in the chair, but now it's just floating in the air, so it looks a bit weird. Just gonna put let me just turn the animations off. This is what the final version looks like. I might want to change the perspective a bit. And then I think the outline is a bit pale, so I'm going to select the outline and make it a bit more vibrant by recoloring the outline. Did that work? Not really. Again, it's all about trial and error until you find something you like. I'm gonna put back everything else. And there's extra space under the feet, so I'm going to close that up and save the canvas. In order for the puppet to work on Character Animator, all of these layers have to be on. If they're hidden, then they won't show up. Also, having different folders makes everything clean, because here I have the puppet. I'm gonna rename it just Standy. And open it up. I have this expression folder, I have the head folder, have the body folder, and then all the other folders inside, so it helps it easier. It helps it make it easier to rig up. Alright, here I have Character Animator Beta version. So I have Adobe Creative Suite subscription, so it means I can download a lot of creative apps that are compatible with each other. The beta version of Character Animator is supposed to be updated so we can rig the body. I'm going to go and pull my character, the Photoshop document, and put it here. Next, I'm going to put it in the timeline. Right now, it looks pretty crazy. My webcam is on a different screen, so it's trying to control it, and it looks very crazy moving around in space. So what you need to do is go into rig mode and reorganize this puppet. What I would do is turn off a lot of the detaily bits and start rigging it all over. I'm going to skip recording this because I do a lot of this based on trial and error, so if I record it, it's just going to be really confusing. So let's skip over this area. So I rigged up the character. It took me basically the whole day, so it was a good thing I didn't record it. Here it looks pretty weird on the stage, and that is because the webcam needs to calibrate to my body position. This was a bit harder than it seems, just because the space with the back wall behind me, you really just need physical space so that your whole body is able to be captured on the camera. Over here you put in a body behavior onto your puppet, and it'll give you the option of what you want tracked. So these little balls here on the shoulders and on the joints that track your movements, you can choose to turn them on or off on the behavior bar. So you have a countdown. You need to make your body into an A shape so it can calibrate, and we're going to test the puppet. Here, after calibrating, the puppet is super deformed, and the reason is some aspects which are useful in the full body puppet using the face cam is getting in the way. So usually you would pin the feet to the ground so it looks like it's standing, whereas if you want to use the feet, you have to take the pins out, make the legs independent, and I've noticed putting draggers on the feet or on the knees so that they'll follow your movement. Here the hips are kind of flying out, so either that needs to be tweaked using the limbs feature, or maybe even just drawing in an extra piece of artwork in Photoshop to hide that. What I have noticed is that the legs are pretty jittery. They're having a hard time keeping still, so I'm wondering whether it would be best to put magnets in the feet and magnetize it, I guess, to the floor on an invisible layer or something like that, because it's having a hard time just looking a bit natural like the upper body. Also, because this puppet is drawn on a 3/4 view, I thought that it would be better to calibrate the camera with my body facing 3/4, so that way my body motions can match the puppet better. I'm just playing around, and when I tried to grab my foot, there were two issues. One was that in the drawing, the legs are just longer than the arms. But the second one is when the limbs overlap each other, if my real leg goes over my real arm, it blocks the camera from registering. So you have to act in a way that is very kind of two-dimensional in a sense. As a test, I tried dancing the Macarena. My left arm is layered on top and my right arm is layered behind all the other artwork. So because of that layering position, I can't have the right arm go over my body. It would be nice in the future if the Adobe team could incorporate like a layer switching behavior. However, I found the best way to sort through this is the illusion. So what I did was I kept moving my left arm so that when I moved the right arm, it would be hidden and it would give the illusion that it's moved in front of my body instead of actually moving behind it, because that's how the artwork like. I actually didn't mind just using the upper body form of motion sensor without the feet, so that way I could have expression when talking or playing with my props, such as my little keyboard. And I can either play or pretend to play, and my puppet will follow along. I'm really excited actually to get motion capture technology in my own house, because I remember that basically Lord of the Rings and the Blue Avatar were using it, and you'd have to wear like a skin-tight suit with ping pong balls and special reflective sensors installed in the ceiling of like a huge warehouse. So to really get this technology in my own house with a webcam is pretty insane. Thanks everyone for your kindness and support. Please consider donating on my Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/rocket1111child. The funds will go towards growing this channel and creating more art projects and videos. Anyway, thanks for watching.